Hello, welcome to the AEW Dynamite Rundown 28th of October 2020. I'm joined by Ellie. How are you doing today?
Hello Tom, I'm doing great as always.
Yes, it's not like we just spoke 5 seconds ago filming the NXT review, is it?
I know.
Uh, so yes, we kick off with Mgf and Wardlow having interviews about Wardlow's match today. If he wins, that makes MJF champion because he's their leader. Wardlow's kind of looking at him like, nah, bro, that's not how it works. But obviously
Yeah.
he agrees because he's the lackey, as we would say. Sammy comes out and says, MJF, you will never join the inner circle. MJF asks why the hostility. MJF then says the attack on Hardy was nice, but he says Sammy shouldn't do promos. He runs down Sammy and shoves him in his face, I think he did. Overall, well, that was a good opening because, well, there's clearly tension for a feud between Sammy Guevara and MJF a bit further down the line.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this, the opening little bit, 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd give it a 7 out of 10 hours as well.
Then we go
I was
to...
mainly focusing on NXT at this point, but yeah,
Yeah,
I'd give it a 10 out of 10.
that's because there was a good match going on, but I was more focused on this. I was watching a good match on NXT, but I was more focused on Hangman Adam Page versus Wardlow. The winner, Hangman Adam Page with the buckshot lariat.
Yeah.
Going to give the match a 3.25 out of 5. It was a pretty decent match in my opinion.
Yeah, it was quite a decent match. I'd give it maybe a 3 though. Slightly lower than yours, but yeah.
Yeah. We then
match.
get John Moxie doing a video package talking about how hard he's worked to get to the title and being the top of AEW. He's not defending the title. He's going to weaponize it. He's going to take out Eddie Kingston. He will do what he has done in AEW to take them out. Good video package for Moxley. He wasn't in the building, but pretty decent package. Going to give that one an 8 out of 10. I'm really looking forward to Moxley kicking the shit out of Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, I love the video packages. I really liked it, so I'd maybe give it 8.2 out of 10.
We then had
Pretty
Eddie
good.
Kingston versus Matt Seidel. Eddie puts a bulldog choke onto Matt Seidel and he taps out. And after the match, Eddie forces him to say "I quit" into a microphone because he's going to be facing Moxley in an "I quit" match, so it's symbolic. Overall, the match was alright. I'm going to give it a 2.75 out of 5. I generally think Eddie Kingston's much better as a hype/talking man than he is a wrestler, in my opinion. He's competent, but none of his matches have ever wowed me.
Yeah. I think the match was more of a 2.4 for me, because I was just like, oh, okay, that happened.
But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to his match with Moxie, but it won't be a wrestling match. It will be a proper brawl, because it's an I Quit match.
Oh, yeah. I think
Eddie Kingston's a brawler, so weapons-based brawl matches will work well for Eddie Kingston. So it will be a good match at full gear.
Yeah, I really like I Quit matches because it's less about, like, you know, more like pinning and that. It's more like you're legit trying to kill each other almost until the other person gives up. So I think I'm pretty excited for the I Quit match, to be honest.
Yeah.
Sounds exciting.
Then we go to Excalibur interviewing the Young Bucks and FTR with Tully Blanchard. Excalibur asked Matt how his ankle is. He said it's fine, and the match that's been brewing for a few years now. FTR is asked why they would jeopardise a match. They said they are ready to fight. Whoever wins has cemented their legacy as the best tag team in the world. Excalibur says he knows the Bucks for years and that's why he has a job. What about your actions lately, Bucks? They said we're not really proud of them, but we don't regret them. This is something that's been brewing for the last year. FTR said they aren't needed for this interview. Walk out. The Bucks said that they have more to lose than the championships. They were two poor kids from California. They bet on themselves. They said if they don't win, they'll never challenge for the tag titles again. Damn. I mean,
Damn.
Cody's already disqualified for challenging for the world belt. Do you think they'll disqualify the Young Bucks from challenging for the tag belts? Because I kind of want to see the Young Bucks have a couple of tag title reigns.
Yeah, I think anyone should be able to have a title then, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I would give the interview an 8 out of 10. Really good Young Bucks and FTR. They work really well together.
Yeah, I like this segment. I'd probably give it 7.6 maybe.
Yeah. Then we go to the town hall with MJF and the Inner Circle. Tony Schiavone and Dash Fuentes are our hosts. Wardlow does not make it out of here for it. The first question was asked by Luchasaurus, and he asked MJF how he can contribute to the earning potential of the Inner Circle. MJF puts a chart up showing that he will cause earnings to go up. Britt Baker and Reba have the next question. Reba says Jericho has a great smile. Baker says MJF has a bad track record when it comes to friendships. Jericho said he's not a dipshit like Cody. They won't bring him into the deeper part of the Inner Circle, and if he turns on them, Jericho will knock his teeth down his throat. MJF said he won't betray them, and he will bring the money and titles into the group. Peter Avalon then asked a question saying, "Can I join the Inner Circle?" And they're like, "No." Then Eric Bischoff comes out. Yes, Eric Bischoff was live on TNT, despite the fact this was pre-taped the other day. But moving on. He said, I have 3 questions. First off, what can MGF do for the Inner Circle? He said friendship. Then he asked what the Inner Circle can do for MJF. He said he has a dent in his armour and he's not a team player, and the Inner Circle could teach him how to be. Eric said that Jericho is a prima donna, which then Jericho objects to, forcing Tony Schiavone to just tell Jericho to shut up. That was amazing. Seriously, I've never seen Tony Schiavone shout like that. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Eric then gets his question, says Eric tells MJF he's a prima donna, and if he joins the Inner Circle, what stops you two attacking each other? Leading to Jericho saying that at Full Gear, if you beat me, you join the Inner Circle. And then Ortiz gets in and says, MJF, just shut up. Next week, me and Sammy Guevara will have a match against you and Wardlow. Overall, pretty decent. I'd say that's probably one of the best segment that AEW did this day. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. It was really funny and really entertaining.
Yeah, I think this was probably the best segment for AEW tonight. I'd probably give it an 8.8 out of 10.
Okay.
Because I actually really loved this segment.
I did as well. Moving on to Cody versus Orange Cassidy in a lumberjack match for the TNT Championship. The ring was surrounded to keep Dark Order out. But as you can guess, it didn't stop the Dark Order. The Dark Order distracted the referee. John Silver ran in, hit a punk kick on Cassidy. Arn Anderson also nailed Cassidy with a punch from the outside. Why is Arn Anderson doing this? Cody then tossed Silver from the ring, hit Crossroads, and covered him for the 3 count. After that, there was a big brawl while Darby Allin watched from the rafters. Billy and Austin Gunn cleared the ring. Overall, pretty good match. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. Good title defense for Cody. Feel like Orange Cassidy got screwed, but I think that's kind of the point.
Yeah, I think the match gets probably 2.7 out of 5 for me.
Fair enough. Then going to the newly crowned NWA World Women's Champion, Serena Deeb, versus Leia Heisha. I don't know how to pronounce that last name.
Yeah,
for the NWA Women's Championship. Serena put a submission on to Leia and she tapped out. So she retains the Women's Championship for the NWA. Thought it was a really good match. Going to give it a 3 out of 5 again. Pretty decent women's match.
Yeah, I'd probably give it a 2.7 out of 5 because I don't know. I just thought it was alright.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it was too good, but I'd just say it was alright.
Yeah. Then we get it confirmed that Hikaru Shida, the AEW Women's Champion, will face Nyla Rose at Full Gear for the Women's Championship. It was alright. Hikaru Shida's decent. I like Hikaru Shida. Good. That should be an interesting match. Then Shawn Spears goes against VSK for a match. Death Valley Driver, Shawn Spears wins. No rating because the match lasted like 4 seconds. Scorpio Sky then attacked Shawn Spears after the match, setting up their match next week. Yeah, it's what it was.
Yeah, it was alright. As with most things.
Yeah, we then go to our main event, Kenny Omega versus Pentagon Jr. for the final slot in the AEW World Title Tournament. We see a video package of Eddie Kingston telling Ray Phoenix to give Pentagon the match due to him being injured, which I'm glad that they didn't just swap it and leave nothing there. There's actually footage showing that we swapped the match. I like that. But Kenny Omega wins with a V-trigger and then a one-winged angel. The match was really good. I'm going to give it a 3.75 out of 5.
I'll give it probably a 3.4. I really enjoyed this match, actually.
It was really, really good, but obviously you really can't compete when you've got 2 world-class women athletes in a TLC match. I mean, both the other guys are class, but normal match versus TLC match, I know which one's going to be more exciting. Don't matter who's in there.
TLC one.
TLC's always going to be more entertaining, just because it's a TLC match. They're always good.
Yeah, I think I've never
unless
really
you put
watched
Asuka, Corey Sane, Bayley, and Sasha Banks in it at TLC 2019, which made one of the worst matches I've ever seen.
No.
Honestly, the match was just trash.
I've never seen a bad TLC match, so
yeah,
I'm going to stay away from that one match because I've never heard it and I don't want to hear of it again.
It never worked. They did spots that just didn't work. It just overall it was a piss poor excuse for a match. But yes, I'm going to give AEW a 7 out of 10, the same rating as I gave it to NXT. Because in my mind, I can't choose between the two because there's elements I liked from this show and elements I liked from NXT. I enjoyed both shows this week.
I mean, with this show, it's kind of like I kind of liked it, but it's like just kind of like most of it. I was just like, okay, that happened. I think the only thing that really interested me about AEW tonight was the final match and the segment I talked about earlier.
With Town Hall.
Yeah. And yes. Those two were the only things that really interested me about the show. Everything else I just couldn't care about. So I'd probably give it maybe a 6.8 out of 10.
Just below the NXT, damn.
Yeah.
Whereas I found NXT being the same way, as I enjoyed a couple of things on there, but the rest of it's like, oh, that happened.
Yeah.
But I can't.
I think
rate
NXT
them,
was
I
better
can't
for
rate
me.
NXT lower because of the 2 decent matches.
Yeah.
But yes, there we go. This was our review for AEW Dynamite. Hope you've enjoyed it. Smash that like button, share and subscribe. And just remember, if you're ever in space and you see an abandoned spaceship, it could be Ellie Langford because she's been completely abandoned.
Yeah, for a few years now.
Quite a few years. Seriously, hashtag get EA done for murder.
Yeah, because EA is now officially murderers.
Yes,
Confirmed by Tom.
definitely. Right, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you all later. Bye.